Hello, and welcome to another episode of Railroads Online. I'm Trevor, and I am been working my behind off. If you notice, when I left you last time, we were pretty full here. You can actually tell exactly how much we have. It does sit in the yard, which is pretty cool. I like when games are that accurate graphically. I took I've done a bunch. I mean, not a whole lot. It's been repetitive, but I did throw those logs that were on there into the lake. So I've sorted all those, and shipped most of them. We have these markers now, and they tell me when it's right behind the engine. So like when the first car is right here, that'll be lined up with certain points depending on which direction I'm facing. You can see they're not exactly the same because these. I wish they would put these to be exact as you could. There's not any other cars. So like in other words, if you're perfectly lined up with this one, you're not perfectly lined up with those over there. If I owned the sawmill, I would fix that. So in any event, but we do have some markers here that help guide me to where we need to go to get lined up with things. That's helpful. And those are just the walls. If we come in here, the groundwork walls. So we have a fully loaded train. If we look at the exact amounts of the stuff, where's that? 9. So we only have 9 beams, and if we take a full load, we end up getting 2 cars of these, which is 12, and then we get 4 cars of 3, which is 12. So we end up getting 12 and 12. Now we have a few extra of these, but I don't think it's not enough. I don't know, we could make another, but we'd have enough for 3 of those, right? 9. Yeah, actually we could do another load before we go getting logs. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do that. I don't want to spend too much time just driving back and forth over the same thing, but this is a let's play, right? Which means showing you the vast majority of what we're doing. We don't have any fuel. Let's hop back out. And I did already go up and switch our flag up there, our junction. So we should be in pretty good shape for getting out of here without derailing, which I did do. That was probably the most exciting thing that happened on our trip was that, and I've made quite a few trips. I can't show you because I'm in the train right now, but we have a little bit over $1,000. And I know from experience, one of the next things that we're going to want to do is hook up to the smelter and get up to the iron mine. So in order to get the smelter going, you need to get to the iron mine kind of first, even though the smelter is on the way. So what I want to do at that point is save up some more money. So one of the reasons I thought, well, maybe we can come back and talk about how I like the track and how's it working out. We're doing 16 coming out of here. I think we could probably go faster, but there is a physics limit. Even if you do, you could make it even bigger and have this be faster, but I kind of figure it's yard work anyway. But we're able to go pretty quickly. If I had to give myself a grade on this track, it wouldn't be better than a B. It would be a B if I was in a good mood. I might even give myself a B minus. Probably not a C. I mean, I think, it's pretty darn good. But there are definitely some wonkinesses, and I wanted to show you this. This is almost comical. Weird. As we come down here, we can give it some more juice. Let's do it like 3 I did have an issue on the last run too. Let me show you this first. Look at this drunken sailor kind of action that we have here. So I'd like us to fix this and make this a nice smooth turn on our way back. That doesn't need too much, but maybe even going all the way up to there, just straighten that out. Just a nice gentle turn. It's not affecting anything. We're flowing along pretty good here for our little train, 6 cars. And you can see, another big news, I did spend some money on cutting down trees that are no longer, it's not as wide as you might want them. One of the reasons is you're probably afraid of starting a forest fire. The tree want to clear a certain amount of ground. A little steam locomotives. It would belch different ashes and cinders in it. have another problem with the last run. Up here, I'm surprised that I didn't have any issues. I don't really see where it would be a huge problem, but I would definitely try to eliminate any of the little issues that I've had. The biggest issue I have is remembering to flip this back. We're coming back out this way. And that's where I derailed the one time. Nothing but boneheadedness. To a gliding stop. So I was coming around the last time this other way, and somehow I hit the building. So I want to take a better look with you guys. Maybe pull this train out of the way a little bit. Stop in time? No, not really. Let's flip this back the other way. Yeah, so I hit right here somehow. I hit on the edge of the building. I don't know quite how I did that. Unless it was a matter of exactly how I braked. I mean, there wasn't any, there wasn't any particular reason. I'm a little further up this way. I wonder if this will even work. Yeah, it's very generous. It's good, because I've kind of been avoiding that. Let's see if that... Now, compared to the iron mine, which is notoriously difficult. There we go. Now, I have been a little bit of a nervous Nilly about taking these off, and not letting the other ones, let one cart empty before you start another one. This is early access. Let's see if this counts. That way, if I mess it up, can I even get it? Yeah, that's very generous. Good. So we can do 6 cars. I've only been doing 5 and then pulling forward. So what do we think? I don't really think this is too close. I'm not even sure how I hit. And as a matter of fact, I mean, I would, if I didn't want it to hit, I would bring it around. See how it swings a little bit wider? I mean, I would even deliberately do it just the way it was. And I like this turn in general. I don't think, of all the turns I have, this one's really, a little bit, could be a little tiny bit better here or there, but that's a pretty nice turn. This could probably be straightened out, but there's really nothing wrong with it. And that's not affecting that. So yeah, I think we're just let's just pull down to that other end and we'll fix that. We'll fix that thing together. See if we can get that really nice and smooth. Oops, wrong way. I don't know if you have to. Now there are some things in real life that you probably couldn't get away with. I'm not real sure, but I don't think you would want to be going backwards and flip that reverser and then give it power, because it seems like that's how you would overstress something. But we're not too worried about it. Oh, you know what I didn't do? You remember? And this is bad on my part. I keep forgetting to. Well, I did it once. I mean, I've taken each trip. I'm only making like $300 or so dollars. So you figure I've taken a good 5 or 6 trips, and a lot of the trips after I bought the 6 rail cars that we now have, they were just the beams, so I was making even less money. So I've probably done a good 6 or 8 trips, and I only forgot to do this once. And I did cut away more trees here, so at least I have a better chance of seeing it. See, like you'd have plenty of time if you were paying attention. My problem isn't the seeing it as much as the paying attention part, because once you get into the loop, you just start assuming all these things are, they just stay in the right direction as we go round and round. And so this will work out pretty well. Let's go ahead and we'll get this thing fixed, and then we can take another run around. Maybe I'll be quiet that time, and we'll just enjoy the train ride. Now, I saw another YouTuber was doing this and said, well, you guys don't want to see me build track and all that. And I thought, well, I do. And then he proceeded to build track and complain about building track the whole time. Like, you don't want to see this. It's like, well, no, I actually am interested in how you make the track nice and smooth, and you know, I enjoy the process of building the track. That's what makes this, in my opinion, better than many of the other train games out there. Train Sim World, Derail Valley, they're all great. But I love building my own track and getting out there and testing it and improving it. Like, that just adds a whole nother level to the experience here. So I'm trying to go slow, but I think I'm going too slow. I don't want to get... I'm thinking we even stop right here, just so that we know we're not in the way. All right, and is that, you know, where would we? Yeah, I probably would stop right where this turn starts and try to make that straight. You know, I think the turn kind of starts right here. And it's okay. It's not going to be that hard. It's mostly straight track. We get this replaced real quick. This is really the spot. I don't know what I was doing. I mean, it's the argument for getting rid of the trees too. I think I blame at least a portion on it in that you just can't really see that far ahead with all those trees. So you really should be, you know, changing that at that point. But or you really should be cutting down the trees. But I don't want to cut down the trees because I didn't have that much money. So now that we have a few extra bucks, it's a matter of grinding. And I think I'm going to come all the way back to where this turn is here. All right, there we go. So this is downhill, I think. And then we go into this part. And I think we start being flat right here. So let me just delete this one. Yeah, there. All right, so then we'll try to go straighter towards the... Well, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I don't know if you guys understand the difference between the variable grade and the constant grade. Here, let me show you that just in case it'd be easier to show you. So if we go up, right, this is, which one? Variable grade, right? So I go up, and then I want to go over, right? And then if I want to go up again, let's say, whatever. See how that worked out where I could go up and down and over? Well, if I want to do this grade, oops. Gee, if I want to do the constant grade, where can I do that? Let's do the constant grade starting here, right? So we're going to go up. Right? And then I want to go over. Back down to 1. Look what it did. It took that other one down too. Right? So the benefit to this is, let's go up. You know, we're going to go all the way up to 10. So say we want to work off towards a certain area. Right? Oops, what happened there? Let's get something happened. Oh, I didn't go far enough. Sorry. All right, let's start over. Oop, wrong one. So the benefit to this one is, let's go up to 10. And we come here, and then we want to come over this way, and then we want to come over this way. Well, if all of a sudden we, you know, like that's 3 different sections. If we wanted to change that, if we were using the variable grade, we couldn't lower that whole thing, all 3 sections, where with the constant grade you can. Hopefully that makes some sense. I don't think I ever covered that, and not that you guys are here just for a tutorial, but just in case you didn't know that. All right, so now the only issue I have is I think this is a slope, and I kind of want to make sure I keep the same grade because it will make a difference over a long period of time. After all that, I think I want to use the constant grade. I'm going to come from like here, not straight. No, not really. I would come a little bit further over, like right in this area. And I do want to clean up some of the junk. All right, so I think if we come, just cut this corner a little bit more. Yeah, I do think one thing that would really be cool is if we could. I think I'm going straight. Can't really see what's happening. And that might have been part of the reason we weren't, because if we were bouncing off of trees. I don't think that was just bouncing off of trees that got us. That worked out pretty well if we're considering this thing right here. How does that look? Yeah, not really that straight. Darn it. You can really delete far ahead, can't you? See how this part looks. No, I'm thinking the whole thing was off a little bit from what I would want it to be. All right, let's try that again. Do we need to get rid of some trees right there, maybe? What happened there? Oh, we're just not getting the symbol because we're not close enough. Get rid of some of these just so they're not. Said it was just a matter of taking some more trips. Money, while it's still a thing, is not the end of our life. We could always do a few more trips, in other words. All right. So now I'm going to try. It'd almost be nice if they gave you a compass heading that you could. We'll do constant grade. Doesn't matter, I don't think, in this case, but we certainly want it to be level. Now, the other thing I could do, yeah, I can kind of see now. I could go as just straight one section instead of trying to make it 6. It's not like oops. Yeah, let's. I don't know. That's probably pretty good. We'll see. I mean, it can be off a little bit, especially if it makes sense. Sort of part of the turn, right? Well, certainly, it's going to be better than it probably was. There we go. So what do we look like? Oh, yeah, that's not perfectly straight, but I'm okay with that little bit of a, bend, especially with the way it is going. All right, so let's get rid of. Look how far off the old one was. For no real reason. I mean, it certainly didn't need to curve over there like that. I mean, I guess, well, you could argue we were saving gravel, which we really weren't. This doesn't cost us anything, but I think it would be great. I mean, that would take this game to, like, maybe it would be too hardcore, but imagine if you could buy the stuff, like you could buy gravel, almost like with workers and resources, where you could buy the stuff, import it, and it would cost you like extra, but if you set up your own railroad track to make your own gravel here. Yeah, like as in real life, would you really build this thing with all this gravel, yet, you'd probably just build on that flat spot over there. All right, so what I'm thinking actually now is, do we come from like a spot right here? I think so, right? If I delete this one. was a long one. Yeah, I think that one's fine. And then the only other question will be, let's just run this one like right straight into, just off a little bit. Not that I should be that worried about it. Or do we want to swing it just a little bit wider this way on this, right, like that, and then this one will actually turn a slight amount. Right? Well, it's certainly a lot better than it was. You know, you could argue that this whole thing is kind of curved over that way, but we'll just live with that. And maybe we'll do some tracks that are just different, right? Like, because this does feel cheaty with the gravel to me. Again, it's all part of the game. If they didn't, it's not cheaty in the sense that it's the way they made the game. I'm not cheating anything. But if you're trying to be super realistic about what you would do, which I'm not in particular. Yeah, so we do have a little bit of a corner cut going on here, don't we? Yeah, I want to redo this just a bit. Try to go from here because it was a little bit off. If we're going to be that particular, let's be fully particular. I'm not always that particular, but if you're going to do it right. Can we make it the whole way there? Yeah, I didn't think we'd make it that far. That's be nice. There we go. Yeah, that'll be better. Again, really being particular about it, but I guess if you wanted to build the highest speed lines, that's really the kind of thing. Get rid of any of those extra little turns. Now, hopefully, we can make this nice and straight. I think I'll cheat that a little tiny bit. So take our time. Let me be quiet. I don't know if I'll fast forward or just play music or whatever. I actually don't like that section. That should be a little bit straighter, I think. Yeah. Because it just turned enough that I'm just trying to do the best I can. Like, nothing else. Maybe I'm proving it to myself or you guys that I could actually do it. If I accept that tracks aren't perfect, I'm okay with that. I'm not one of those people in life that everything has to always be too perfect. Which is good because I think, I don't know, if you're that way, it's just you're being awful tough on yourself. It's not, no other real problem with it personally. But now, as I think about it too, well, yeah, we could improve a lot of things like this. Let me know if you guys want to see more of it. I'm not even sure. I mean, I've been recording episodes. It could be like 2 of you watching, but you know what? I've always said, like, I hope you're having fun. It's not, you know, I hope there's a lot of people watching it by now, but I have no idea. Nor do I really care that much. More people come with more complainers and whiners on YouTube or the internet in general. There we go. So how do we do? Nice. Yeah. Is that a little bit off right here? Like where I kind of came to the left a little bit there, more than I probably should have. Then again, I think this mound of gravel is quite silly. Maybe we'll do some other lines that are more serious, I guess. More look realistic. Yeah. And we can always change it. One of the things I was thinking of is, you know, this line swings out. You can see we're all the way up high, but there's a decent chance that we want to go, and I don't know, because I think the smelter needs tools. So we're going to want to go from the smelter up there down to the oil field. I'm pointing with my finger. That's helping you, I'm sure. So you see what I mean? Like, we wouldn't want to go there. We would want to, like, cut over this way, you know, maybe even sooner. But so we'll see. We might even just, in other words, replace this line altogether, because I'm not sure with this game how much are we actually going to sell to the depot. It seems like there's going to be a lot of, you know, moving freight around. Like, maybe we'll end up, like, moving oil barrels or something that we can't use, you know, like the very final products. And I don't know how they're going to, you know, is that oil going to be used in the trains and then we would just sell off the surplus? Like, I don't see myself hauling logs any more than I need to if I can make $50 for hauling oil. Now, I have no idea how much the oil's worth, so, to haul, but, oops, let's hop in and we'll take it for a ride. Let's give it a little time to warm up. But yeah, now that's, look at that. That's still a bend there, but we kind of have the mountain in our way. And like I said, in real life, would you go a different way? And then we might, like, just abandon this track almost one day. I do hope to take this game to a level, you know? Now, I wonder if they would ever let you put trees back. I wouldn't mind the idea of covering the old scars as a possibility. Scars in the landscape. We're in great shape here. We're 50. Beautiful. A little tiny bit up here where I kind of, you know, sort of turns right in there. But that's also, I think I'd have to, I started thinking about that a little bit as we were going up there. I really want to redo the whole junction eventually. Nice improvement. And then, so what I was thinking of is maybe what we could do. We're at the halfway point. So what I'm thinking I should do is go around and load up again. Take our last trip up to the, since they're, one of the things about doing the trips is that, like, all of these signals are all set up to go to the, from the lumber to the depot. So takes some extra minutes to get it all set up to flip it over so we go from the logging. So I would like to try to keep that. And by the way, this is the kind of thing I want to fix where I don't like that these things overhang here. Let me know if you want to see me do all that on camera. I may do, you know, some of it. I think there is a limit. Even those of you who want to watch me lay track probably aren't necessarily that interested in me redoing all this gravel for hours on end. But hey, let me know. probably a bit of a balancing act in what people want to see. Now, the one thing I will say is, you know, if you, and this has been a little bit of my reaction towards showing more than less, you can always skip forward, fast forward, right? Either one of those. That is an option for people that don't want to see hours of the stuff. Now, I know the problem is that when you fast forward or skip forward, you never know when I'm going to come up with a pearl of infinite wisdom that you might not want to miss. So we'll see. Let's pull down here and we'll get as much loaded as we can. I think I'll stop and just fill up the cars as I go. I normally try to stop and get as much done as quickly as I can. So I would stop at the far one there, but this time I think I'll just stop right here. I think I was going to stop. In other words, I think I'm just going to max out these. Like normally I would have pulled forward so that I could, but I just want to take, like, fill 3 cars up here. So that means 6 cars here and then 6 cars there. That's why you. But I didn't have 6 cars for all these trips. Right? Because in the beginning we only had 3, and then I had 4, and then I had 5. I don't have a marker for this because I wasn't pulling 1 car length ahead. Alright, so here we go. So we'll get these last 3. Let's see what car that puts over. Might put it on the back car there. Nah, it's going to go on this one. Oh no, look, see, that's another thing. It seems like this one puts it, like this is actually the loading dock for this one. So even though I want to keep pulling up to these cranes, that's not, I think that the loading point is actually like right here. If that makes sense. Which, the reason I say that that's important is if you load up the, like you can load here, like if I pulled up to this one with this, it would wipe out those beams. Ah, look at that, it did the worst possible scenario. Darn it. Look, so now, okay, here's what I'll show you exactly. So our perfect load is no longer going to be a perfect load. But that's okay, maybe we'll, part of me didn't want to do it anyway, so let's pull forward. Because we have no more beams to fill up the rest. And well, this will be a good demo of what I was talking about. Not that you guys didn't believe me, but so that's the first marker to do those cars. So this marker should get, you guys see it's over here. So this marker right here. What's going on? Oh, we're out of steam. Break. Right, well we could demo it here. Watch, if I put this on there, it's going to wipe out some of the beams. Which is okay. We're doing that. Now that we're like right in the middle again, my fear would be that we would split these, so I do really want to pull forward a little bit because I don't want this one, probably shouldn't even hit that button to accidentally delete those 3. Yeah, see, it did do the back one. So yeah, that's leading me to believe that the actual center point is somewhere further over this way, in the I should be alright to keep this one. Not quite there yet. Alright, well let me finish loading this, and then once this is loaded up, I will pull over and I'll rejoin you. Or when I go to pull over, we'll go get the logs and we'll take a log trip and maybe cut some trees together. And then this will be more of a hauling, working episode at that point. Back again, and I've just loaded this up, so our you can see the yard there is completely empty, and other than wasting those 3 beams, I think we did pretty well. And that's just not being quite careful enough. So I think the thing to do now is run around the yard and see about how we're going to get hooked up to this guy, right? So I think the thing to do is going to be to go all the way around and then back into here, and then we'll have to rechange the settings to go. So this should be okay, these first couple, right? Because they were... Right, like we don't want to go in there because we'd be facing the wrong direction. So these 2 should be okay, and then this one needs to send us back into the thing, which will be normal. That'll be all part of it. We won't have to switch that one, I don't think, again. And then these 2 will be fine, right, because they're just sending us back into there. And really... Yeah, actually, these are going to be fine too. I don't know why I'm running around here, because these were sending us back in, and then we'll... Oh no, we can't back in that way, can we? No, what we're going to have to do... Let's flip this one. We're going to have to back in here, so we're going to have to do the loop-de-loo around the triangle. Alright, so this one's fine. Yeah, let's see. I think what I would do is put this guy the way it is, and then make sure this guy, so we'll come up straight here, and then we'll back in this way. So yeah, this one should be straight, or coming from the right here. And then this one, which we just switched, we'll make straight. So then we'll come right out here, we'll come straight up this way, turn around back there, and then back in. And then we'll just have to reset these to get going over to the lumber camp. The logging camp. Right, they should be fine. Good. I already disconnected this. And I think we have enough water. We have water up there. Take us that long, so let's see. Reverse. Yep. We could cut down some trees. I'm not sure how exciting that is. But maybe I should maybe have run up and cut some trees so we can see the condition of the track. Decide in the next episode if we want to straighten it out some, or how it looks. Certainly takes on a whole new appearance. Cut those trees down. You can see how crooked you are on the longer stretches. Look how nice that looks down that way. Ooh. Brakes, brakes. So now we'll back down here. Should I stop it? It's only just this little one cart. Maybe what we'll do is when we get around here, I'll stop it. And we'll flip those two over so we're ready to go. If I flip these two while I'm here, come back out and do it. Once we pick up our carts, or cars. Alright, and then those should be... No. Might as well do this, I guess, while we're here, too. That one wants to be this way. This one's fine. Or no, this one's going to be this way. Right? Or no, we're coming around. We're going to be coming around this way. So this is the one. This one's always going to stay this way because we're going to go this way. This is the one we're going to need to flip each time. Because one time we're going to come in and go this way, next time we're going to come out. So since we're backing in, we're going to come back out this way. Yeah, so we should be good. And then it'll be a matter of, well, we got 6 carts. Each one holds 6 logs. So we're going to be able to take 3 trips up to the logging camp before we fill up the sawmill. Versus good. I think we should be good with the signals. We change those back there. Ready? 1. Slow. Definitely could use some more tree cutting down. So if you do have a vote or an opinion, do you want to see me improve the heck out of what we've already built? I mean, there's no reason we can't spend time and money fixing this up. I don't know that it's any better to go get... I mean, of course, we want to explore where no man has gone before. Oh, yeah, I guess that William Shatner went up into space, didn't he? Crazy. But I guess what not. If you're going to go up into space, you might as well do it when you're 70. You know, like, the thing's going to blow up on you. Which, yeah, they seem to have these rockets down pretty good these days, so I'm not sure. Would I go into space? Yeah, probably. But like I said, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it when you only have 5 years left, or 20 years left at the most. I don't mean to insult anybody. Oh, we're putting the brake on instead of the regulator. Smart. Stop too soon. Yep. This guy attached. One of the benefits to doing the first and last car, even though I do like to check these. Just in case. You know, and then if you ever have any issues, the first and last car boxes the rest of them in. I feel like that would be a thing. Alright, so we should be good to go, right? Yeah, well, we'll just take it slow. But yeah, we flipped everything over, I'm pretty sure. Oops. We have... Let's put some more firewood in. Reversed. Got all the cars coming. Yeah, that's a good sign. The game has been pretty good, I think, as far as... And I know there's some bugs and some issues, but really considering the dev team is more or less a group of college guys that are doing this in their part-time, I think they really have done, I think they're doing something that sometimes these AAA studios just can't do. Get into all the politics of the company, not regular politics, where people are all angling for their own thing. They tend to end up with just what's always popular. So in other words, you end up with not thinking out of the box, where you're college guy who's played train games and loves them. You just got a different perspective on things than boardroom executive going to have good shape. And this turn here, let's see how we do at 25 coming out here. If we crash, we're going to fix this turn. I think that I really want to be able to come through there. 25, which is hard, right? Really not a bad turn. Let's get around this turn, put some juice. It's only been a day, but it feels like a long time since I've been down this time. Really not bad. Other than that one spot at the bottom of that hill, I think we're good to go. Well, at least that straightaway was far better than the others. As far as being in here goes, I don't really see a big problem with anything that we have in here. This is awful close. I'll swing around here, but it seems to be. And I did add a water tower. Yeah, see how close that gets, but hitting it, we're not hitting it. Slow down a lot. Yeah, so I think I've been pulling up to these, and it has caused me some problems, I think, that I didn't realize it was causing me problems. Like, but I'm thinking like that is really, see, I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Does that just... I think it's going to tend to put it back in this back cart here. And that's actually theoretically lined up with the hit box or whatever. Maybe backed up a little bit further, but... Oh no, look, that one put it on the forward car. Or is it going to do this thing where you have to guess? Yeah, you know what, let me just back up a tiny bit. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess with this one. Now, will that get it onto which car? 'Cause we're like dead even. No, let's put it on the front car. I don't know. It doesn't matter too much here because we're not paying for the logs, as far as I know. Alright, it's unlimited supply of logs. Yeah, so that's putting it forward, which is kind of bizarre, you know? Like, I guess with these, maybe. Well, the other thing is they don't all have to act the same. Okay, I'm not too worried about the log one because it's infinite logs, but. So we definitely wanted to stop. Yeah, this messes up my normal system. Normally I get every other car, but I'm glad to see if we could get every car actually. Because that would be better, a little easier. All right, because I can load two at a time this way. And I can, but the problem is like the last two cars I couldn't load two at a time. So let's see. The problem is like it's hard to stop that precisely. See, I think the problem now is that this one, let's see if that one puts one a little bit. So now I'm just a little bit closer to this one. Yeah, that one. So maybe the hitbox is right where this crane is, and I was right. And then I'm wondering if it's different. No, look, that one put it forward. Let's see if sometimes it does every other, which I don't understand why it would do every other. No, it's putting it forward. I would not have expected that, but I'm not unhappy with it either. I think we're pushing it. So let me go and yeah, I mean these markers are just different now. I wonder if we can see. I've demolished my marker, and I would actually want to go back a little bit further if I even need a marker here. You know what, let me just marker not where we're at, right, but like a little bit further back I think would be better, more consistent. What happened to the normally we get a, there we go. Click the wrong thing. So that marker would have us go back a little bit further. And then we could load these two, and then do two next to each other, two next to each other, two next to each other. Might have to move that water tower. Get in there. This is a pain. Let's see where we're at. So, are we too far forward? Are we? Let's see. I think if this is going to work, this might work. Yeah, no, the loading thing could use improvement, and it really wouldn't break my heart if I didn't have to sit here and click every time. Like, it would just keep going until it was full. That just wouldn't hurt my feelings as far as grinding in the game goes. Yeah, this actually went a lot better than a lot of my other loads, because what would happen is if you did every other, right, then when you went to load this one, there's no other after this. There's no, there's no car. So squeezing these together is actually kind of a very good thing. So what I want to do, I don't know if I need water or not. Now, would I move this anyway? No, I don't think. I think that is like the one and only perfect spot, or not. But yeah, see, this is. So we'll line this water tower up. The spout is right where the X is. Kind of make a pretty good guess as to where that track is. See that board down there? You want to put that board right on the edge of the track. And you want this right even with the thing. So the problem is you can't quite see. Alright, so that should be pretty good as far as this goes. Let's see. Might as well top her off while we're here. So that puts us, you know, if we stop just in pretty close to the perfect spot, we should be good to go on getting that loaded up the way we just did. Alright, so let's enough. We didn't get firewood, did we, while we were there? Well, the firewood's all we did. I think we have enough firewood. Yeah, we'll come back in next time, or I'll come back in when we're. Alright, let's give it. Well, how much temperature do we have? We're pretty good. I want to go out there and stop anyway. Oh, that's the steam. I thought that might be the water. And I didn't change my reverser. So that's all right. I think we're getting close to the end of the episode, and we'll go fix that track real quick. Call it quits. And then I think we're going to be in really good shape. I mean, this run, yeah, I know we could get even more meticulous, but I think we can make some pretty good time. No real reason to change too much. If I had to change some things, it would be cleaning up around that sawmill. I think there's some ugly gravel spots like this, and I think the track could just be done a bit better, especially if we're doing through trips where we want to go past there a little bit quicker, like that main track. I'm not worried too much about the in the yard tracks. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. It's going too fast. Please stop. Okay. It didn't stop. Alright, now one question. You know, I've never tried this, but let's see. Can we... Come on. Too bad. Let's put on some. We didn't even break that. Put that guy on. A lot of these didn't derail, so we'll put this one on because we're going to disconnect that front one, I think, and then we'll, because we are on a hill. Let's put at least this back one on. Now the good news is once I put the train there, we'll be all right. Yeah, just a little bit too fast. I mean, I saw it, but it's just, I don't know. I guess I need to cut down some more of those trees, or this seems to be my biggest derailing thing. All right, so Betsy, let's not hop in you. Are you on? You know, we'll just derail it. Alright, we'll do the same thing with this one. No. What happens if we disconnect you? Is that going to help? Oh, you are kind of... So I just need to make more room. Yeah, I don't think it likes putting it on that thing. So let's do this. Let's hop in here. And I'm okay with this. Let's go head down anyway. We'll get this out of the way. Pretty steep hill. But what I didn't like was this turn down here. I just feel, see this like junk out right there? Like I think this could be done a lot better. So let's, I don't want to rush through this, though I know I'm at my magical hour mark. Yeah, see that's not good right there. I think the other thing we could do is maybe... How much of that did we just delete? Quite a bit, and underneath of the rail car, which I'm not Alright, so let's take this. What I'm thinking of is let's do a little bit more of a gradual sloping turn. Yeah, maybe this is where we use the steady grade or the constant grade. Right, and we say, all right, we're gonna let's do this. We're gonna come. Yeah, we could do constant grade. Let's do it from here. Just gonna run this straighter. All right, that'll give us. We can always re-put this back down in a shorter segment if we decide to delete it. So I'm going to try to come a little bit, we'll start a turn. But then, I need to come down from here. Let's do this. We got some money now. We can get rid of some trees that are blocking the view so you can see. Now what I need to do is climb back up there. Oops. All right, so what I'm thinking of is taking that grade out to like way further over here. Might even end up deleting a little bit more of that rail to put it at a bit better angle. All right, but if we come from like this neighborhood and do a constant grade thing. Let's get it centered so it looks nice. That's better. All right, so we'll start to turn there. Right, we'll do a Q. That's pretty close. Can't really see, but I think that's us. See, so what that did is took all those segments. Yeah, look how buried that. That's not good, but that's okay. We'll go move that train back, and then. So then the other thing I'm thinking of is we extend that turn a little bit further because this will be. It's not quite sweeping enough, right? Like maybe back to here because that's sort of pointing it the right direction. I don't want to do any of this till let's go get that train out of the way. We might as well re-rail that thing and then we'll head down and I'll go back and unload, but we'll just kind of come down the hill and see how the new turn feels. Reverser on, we'll give it a good amount of thrust because we don't want to go off the edge here. Re-rail the big guy. Flat car. Yep. Now, do we have a pin in here or a link? All right, let's make sure all these look linked up. Yep. 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 Good. So this one has a link, so we should be in good shape. And then we just have to make sure we got our link in one of these. No link there. Link, no pin. All right, now we're good to go there. So now we need to demolish this, which actually doesn't break my heart. Now hopefully yep, we got the right thing, I think. Hopefully there's no track underneath of there. Let's turn around and look and see. Yeah, no, that's very nice. Coming down at a nice angle. turn this too much because it's... Yeah, tell me that's not a much nicer thing we just did. I think that's feeling mighty good. All right. Yeah, it's real in. So let's rehook up. Get back to work. I have 2 more loads before the next episode to get done. Get some more logs down there, maybe even 3, right? It sort of depends. Regulator, reverse. Yeah, so I'll get that done, and then that'll give us a little bit of money, $300 a pop. We'll be getting close to the 2,000 number that I think we really need to get. Oops. This is kind of a heck of a hill. Oops, I did it too hard. There we go. That's the noise we want. A little bit extra. Well, this re-rail was just going too fast. I always like to understand why I have these accidents to try to prevent them. This was just simply too fast for conditions. All right, I didn't set any of these, I don't think. Nope. That's nothing there. Good. Get this last one. Yeah, see, as soon as I did it, you could feel that one move. See that one move a little bit. All right. We should be in good shape. We're getting back in there. Let's just let her roll down the hill with no brakes. That'll be a good test. Because that's a pretty heck of a hill. Now we're stopping, we're not going into the hill with any momentum, but I think it's a nice test if you just roll down the hill like this. Yeah, see, there's that little jink right there, but we're okay. Oh yeah, that's very nice. All right, guys, I think I'm going to say goodbye to the clatter of the steam train. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to try to play some more and get this done later on today. So have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.